Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Greetings from Greece to all of you. Can you hear me? I'm very honored, very excited to be invited today in this wonderful hackathon. And thank you very much for this kind invitation.
Yes, we'll start in a few minutes. Participants are joining. Okay, so YouTube live students are connected to YouTube, and at the time other members are on. So wait for 1-2 minutes and we'll start.
A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all the evening please. Principal Dr. B. P. Jacob sir, Vice Principal Dr. D. Johnson, Chief guest, Dr. Rania ma'am, and participants present here online as well as offline mode for YCIS Hackathon 2022 organized by Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, Sankara, Center of Innovation and Incubation, Institute Innovation Council, in collaboration with Institutional Startup Cell, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Incubation Cell, Research and Development Cell, Career Guidance Training and Placement Cell, Skill Development Cell, and Innovation Cell. First of all, I would like to request Mr. S.K. Shinde sir, Coordinator, YCIS Hackathon 2022, to introduce the program and welcome all the executives present here.
Ma'am. So it's my great privilege and fortune to welcome you all. So I, on behalf of Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, welcome you all orally. On this occasion, YCIS Hackathon 2022, respected Principal of our Institute, Dr. B.T. Dadav Sahib, Honorable Jay Chavan Sir, Vice Principal, Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, and Dr. Rania Ma'am, today chief guest from Athens, Greece. She is global STEM educator and working in the Ministry of Education. First of all, I welcome you all for YCIS Hackathon 2022. So this is our second YCIS Hackathon. From last year, we are organizing this activity under the guidance of our Honorable Principal Dr. B.T. Dadav Sir. This activity is organized in collaboration with Institute Innovation Cell (IIC). We have various cells like Entrepreneurship Development Cell, Institute Innovation Cell, Invention Cell, Incubation Cell. So we have Research and Development Cell, Patent Cell, Technology Transfer Office, Career Guidance and Training Placement Cell, and Skill Development Cell. With all these with sales and all departments of our institute, last year we have successfully organized YCIS Hackathon, which we call it as Rayat Innovation Challenge. The main objective of this hackathon is to foster and nurture innovation, entrepreneurship, and startup culture among students. Last year, we have near about 200 plus participants have given their ideas. From that ideas, we have 2 patents, 2 startups, which are from our students. So this year we have tagline: the hash no problem is too big and no idea is too small. So this is tagline of our second YCIS Hackathon 2022, and for this inauguration of YCIS Hackathon, our fortune that we have with us Dr. Rania Lampau Madam. So for sake of audience and for participants, I briefly introduce about today's chief guest and keynote speaker. Dr. Rania Ma'am is global educator, STEM instructor, ICT teacher, trainer, neuroeducation researcher, international keynote speaker, author of scientific books for kids, and global peace ambassador in Greece. She has postgraduate degree in MEd in language teaching related to cognitive neuroscience, and she is also passionate researcher on cognitive neurosciences. Currently, she is STEM instructor at Greek Astronomy and Space Company, and she is also working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation, where she writes STEM projects for Greek schools. Also, she has been awarded many national and international prizes. Over 150 prizes are there, and she is recently Global Teacher Award 2020 and 2021 by AKS Awards. Winner of Global Teacher Prize finalist 2019. Recently, she has been selected as Global Icon 2020, featured in Fashionista magazine among the top 10 women entrepreneurs. She featured in Fortune amongst the 100 most successful women in business. Featured in Amazon book by Global Trade Chamber and among the top 10 CEO of the year 21-22 by Indian Alert. Also, she features in the book related to 28 credentials of entrepreneurs, global business and investment consulting, Pin books, new Hauser new groups, and many others. Also, she promotes STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics vision by introducing STEM in astronomy and physics projects and combines STEM with language teaching. She is founder and international coordinator of many innovative international projects that focus on United Nations Sustainable Development Goals described in 2030 agenda. And today's keynote topic is also related to that. Furthermore, she is social activist, global peace ambassador, senior advisor for United Nations Peacekeepers Federal Council, and ambassador of Ecumenical Delphi Union. Also, she is member of educational committee on various collaboration with Harvard University, international ambassador of various education institutes, and Greek Academy of Volunteers. She is CEO and board member of International Internship University, Global Council member of Chartered Institute and Leadership, Education and Development, country chair of G100, advisory board member of the Asian African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Africa Asia Scholars Global Network, advisory council for the School of Education, and many more. She is also international executive member of Global Future Leaders Forum, honorary ambassador of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, education ambassador and member of the international organizations, educators and researchers, IOER, ambassador of the National Education Policy 2020 of India, which is recently launched by Government of India, international advisor of the South Asian Institute of Advanced Research and Development, Center for Peace, Advocacy and Sustainable Development, K20 Digest Magazine, International Youth Society, Global Peace Council, and mentor of more than 100 mentors. She is, as far as research is concerned, she is an editorial board member of many journals. She has presented her research in numerous international conferences, and she has published work in various journals. So this is a brief about today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Rania ma'am. On behalf of Institute, I once again welcome you for second YCIS Hackathon 2022, and stop here and hand over to ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So greetings from Greece. Very, very excited and very honored to be invited in the second hackathon. Warmly thank you for kind invitation. And today we're going to explore this concept of innovation, its ingredients, essentials, and how innovation can be combined with sustainable business practices and entrepreneurship. So can I share my presentation?
Yes,
Is it visible now?
and we will request on behalf of Institute to start with your keynote session on topic breakthrough innovations for sustainable development goals by United Nations. Over to you.
Okay. Can you see also the change of slides? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes an ecosystem to scale innovation. The innovation ecosystem is the network of institutions in the public and private sectors whose activities, interactions initiate, import, modify, and diffuse technologies. So nurturing and scaling innovation requires the support of a robust innovation ecosystem. What are the essentials of innovation? First of all, innovation is gradual. The history of innovation reveals some surprisingly consistent patterns, whether it happened yesterday or 2 centuries ago, whether it was high technology or low, whether it was a big device or a tiny one, whether really virtual, whether its impact was disruptive or just helpful. A successful innovation usually follows roughly the same path. For a starter, innovation is nearly always gradual, not a sudden thing. Eureka moments are rare, possibly non-existent. The deeper you look, the less likely you are to find a moment of sudden breakthrough rather than a series of small incremental steps. There is no day that when you can say computers did not exist the day before and did the day after. And this is what we call evolution. For instance, in the case of the motor car, the closer you look, the more the early versions look like older versions of preceding technologies like steam engines. And this reminds us that with very few exceptions, man-made technologies evolve from previous man-made technologies and are not invented from scratch. So this is a key characteristic of evolutionary systems, the move to the adjacent possible step. Second, innovation is different from invention. The most usually influential new technologies are often humble and cheap. Mere affordability often counts for more than the bequeathing complexity of an organic robot, for example. Innovation is often serendipitous. That means when scientists usually make discoveries by accidents and sagacity of things which they were not in quest of. It is a well-known attribute of innovation. It's what we call accidental discovery. For instance, the founders of Yahoo or those of Google, they were not in search of search engines. The founder of Instagram were trying to make a gaming app. So the founders also of Twitter were trying to invent a way for people to find podcasts. So accidental discovery, serendipity is a great characteristic of innovation and invention. Innovation is recombinant, that Google self-driving cars, for instance, or web or Facebook, Instagram are simply combinations of existing technology. Novel technologies arise from the combination usually of existing technologies, and therefore existing technologies beget further technologies. Innovation involves trial and error. Most investors find that they need to keep just trying things. Tolerance of error is therefore critical. It is notable that during the early years of new technology, far more entrepreneurs went broke than made fortunes. They say that the most important of their discoveries has been suggested to them by their failures. Thomas Edison, for instance, perfected the light bulb not by inspiration, but by perspiration. His team tested 6,000 different materials for the filament. And he said, I have not failed, he once said. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So here it's an element of playfulness. The innovators who just like playing around are more likely to find something unexpected. And innovation is a teamwork always. The lonely inventor, the solitary genius is hard to shake. Innovation always requires collaboration and sharing, as exemplified by the fact that even the simplest object or process is beyond the capacity of any human being to understand. For instance, a simple pencil is made by many different people, some cutting trees down, others mining graphite, others working in pencil factories or in marketing or management. And innovation is inexplorable. Most innovations lead to priority disputes between competing claimants. People seem to stumble on the same idea at the same time. For instance, 6 different people invented or discovered the thermometer, 5 the electric telegraph, 4 decimal fractions, 3 the hypodermic needle, etc. Innovations hype cycle. Usually, people tend to overestimate the impact of a new technology in the short run, but to underestimate it in the long run. And innovation increasingly means using fewer resources rather than more resources. Growth can take place through doing more than less, because much growth is actually shrinkage. There is a trend today that the main engine of economic growth is not from using more resources, but from using innovation to do more with less. More food from less land and less water, more miles for less fuel, more communication for less electricity, more buildings for less steel, and more transistors for less silicons. So we talk about the economics of innovations, and remember that ideas are like rabbits. You get a couple and learn how to handle them, and pretty soon you have a dozen of ideas. Innovation is the mother of science, and often as it is the daughter. There is a widely held view among public that science leads to technology, which leads to innovation. This linear model holds sway among almost all policymakers. It is used to justify public spending on science as the ultimate fuel of innovation. There are techniques and processes that are developed that work, but the understanding of them comes later. For instance, steam engines led to the understanding of thermodynamics, not the other way around. Power flight preceded all dynamics. Animal plant breeding preceded genetics. Metalworking helped give breath to chemistry. And reinventing your business model. In 2003, Apple introduced the iPod with the iTunes Store, revolutionizing portable entertainment, creating a new market and transforming the company. In just 3 years, the iPod-iTunes combination became a nearly 10 billion product, accounting for almost 50% of Apple's revenue. Apple's market capitalization catapulted from around 1 billion to over 150 billion by late 2007. This success story is well known, but what is less known is that Apple was not the first to bring the digital music player market. A company called Diamond Trinity introduced this earlier, and both this project worked well in portable style. So why did the iPod rather than the Rio succeed? Because Apple did something far smarter than taking good technology and wrap it into a snazzy design. It took a good technology and wrapped it into a great business model. Innovation was to make loading digital and through that, the company built a groundbreaking business model that combined hardware, software, and service. Business model innovation have reshaped entire industries and redistributed billions of dollars of value. So need to understand the current business model. A successful model has its components, customer value proposition. The model helps customers perform a specific job that alternative offerings don't address. For instance, minute clinics enable people to visit a doctor's office without appointments by making nurse practitioners available to treat minor health issues. This is a profit formula. The model generates value for your company through factors such as revenue model, cost structure, margins, and inventory turnover. So our company has the people, technology, products, facilities, equipment, and brand required to deliver the value proposition for targeted customers. And the keys, 6 keys to success are usually this one: a more personalized product or service. Many new models offer products or services that are better tailored than the dominant models to customers' individual immediate needs. Companies often leverage technology to achieve this at competitive prices. What we call a closed-loop process. That means that many models replace a linear consumption process in which products are made, used, and then disposed of, with a closed loop in which used products are recycled. And this shift reduces overall resource costs. Asset sharing means that some innovations succeed because they enable the sharing of costly assets. R&D, for instance, allows homeowners to share them with travelers, and Uber shares assets with car owners. Usage-based price, some models charge customers when they use the product or service rather than require them to buy something outright. The customers benefits because they incur costs only as offerings generate value. The company benefits because the number of customers is likely to grow. And a more collaborative ecosystem, because some innovations are successful because new technology improves collaboration with supply chain partners and helps allocate business risks more appropriately, making cost reductions possible. An agile and adaptive organization, innovators sometimes use technology to move away from traditional hierarchical models of decision-making in order to make decisions that better reflect market needs and allow real-time adaptation to changes in those needs. The result is often greater value for the customer at less cost to the company. It's also another, on the tech side, one trend here is the development of sensors that allow cheaper and broader data capture. Big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning can enable companies to turn enormous amounts of unstructured data into rules and decisions. And another one is that connected devices, the Internet of Things, for instance, cloud technology are permitted decentralized and widespread data manipulation and analysis. Developments also in manufacturing, in nanotechnology, 3D printing, are creating more possibilities to distribute it in small-scale production. So, what are the components of an innovation process? The presentation of innovation process usually begins with a generation of ideas and ends with a market launch. In practice, however, it has proven useful to understand innovation goals as a superordinate component of the innovation process and to align the process with these goals. The innovation process does not only start with the generation of ideas, but also with the definition of innovation goals. So in coordination with the corporate strategy, individual goals will be clearly defined. Which type of innovations are aimed for? What is the focus? How high should be the degree of innovation? How many innovations are targeted in which areas? The decision to strive for certain innovation goals marks the starting point of the innovation process and defines the derived strategies and process steps, idea generation, concept development, etc. Furthermore, the innovation process should not enter with a market launch, but rather integrate a phase of perfection, as improvement measures are often required in the first year after a market launch. And the 6 phases innovation process are this one: idea generation, concept phase, advancement, construction, launch, and perfection. We have this trio process, method, structure. Each phase of the innovation process involves corresponding methods and structures. What is implemented, individual steps of the innovation process, idea generation, conception, how the implementation is carried out, methods and tools for the respective process stages, and who makes a decision. The level below the structure defines who is responsible for the respective process step and makes decisions within the company. And the holistic innovation process is actually oriented towards the innovation goals and consciously integrates a phase of perfection that allows for refinement and adaptation. Each phase should follow a structured process that defines appropriate methods and responsibilities. Ongoing evaluation at every stage of the innovation process makes it possible to use research and development resources in a targeted manner and to focus innovation activities on promising innovations. When you have to, you want to test innovation, these are important questions. Do you really innovate? For instance, Aspire, do you regard innovation-led growth as critical? And do you have cascaded targets that reflect this? Choose, do you invest in a coherent time and risk balanced portfolio of initiatives with sufficient resources to win? Discover, do you have differentiated business, market, technology insights that translate into winning value propositions? Evolve, do you create new business models that provide defensible and scalable profit sources? Do you beat the competition by developing and launching innovations quickly and effectively? Do you launch innovation scale at the right scale in the relevant markets and segments? Do you win by creating and capitalizing on external networks? And mobilize, are your people motivated, rewarded, and organized to innovate repeatedly? And we talk innovation, we talk about that, choose, discover, evolve, accelerate, scale, extend, mobilize. Sustainable development, innovation should be combined with sustainable development. Concepts of sustainable development have largely been investigated in relation to macro perspectives of economy and society. So here is the most popular definition that sustainable development is a development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Since then, the concept has evolved to focus on three basic principles defined as the triple integrated equation, requiring understanding of the complex interplay of environmental, economic, and social processes. The rising awareness and urgency to take action towards achieving sustainable development goals is evident, reflecting the increasing number of countries, organizations, institutions worldwide committed to these goals, and all these agencies adopt common principles, objectives, and instruments. We have seen leading international organizations related to development, United Nations Environmental Programme, Coalition of Environmentally Responsible Economies, and World Economic Forum, and among others, have substantially contributed to various perspectives and definitions of sustainable development. But there's an urgent need for a consistent and comprehensive approach. Research and development activities, technology innovation, business domains still need to be developed. So the challenge of sustainable development is here to translate goals, objectives, and principles into concrete actions, behavior patterns, and attitudes at all levels, whether micro or macro or micro. Sustainable business development is underpinned by sustainable technology and innovation, while managing technological change has a direct impact on the sustainable competitiveness of business operations. So sustainable technology is a broad term that encompasses two concepts. Technology that has been designed specifically to remedy or prevent environmental issues, and technology that has been produced with sustainability in mind. It is argued that organizations and companies are value-generating agents. They are crucial bearers of value, creating activities in the economy and society, and this is where changes towards sustainable solutions are. At the company level, technology is transferred into primary, secondary business operations for creating, delivering, and capturing value through impacting the environment, economy, and society. So companies are generators of crucial determinants for sustainable development, as business firms are catalysts and agents of social and economic change. And more specifically, it is indeed at the strategic level that sustainable development can fully uncover its value creation potential for a company. We can see usually that there is an interest expressed by companies involved in offering an array of innovative technology business solutions in practice. So this necessity of companies to reconcile sustainability aspects while also satisfying all stakeholder needs, ensuring profitability and respecting the diversified demands for the fulfillment of social goals. There is this need, and the ultimate goal is overall quality, of course, of life improvement. It's actually a radically revised framework that needs to be elaborated, particularly from a company perspective, which means that traditional technology, as we know, innovation and business models still need to be reviewed. Why? Because technology and businesses are regarded as instigators of problems, while sustainable technology and business innovations are key to solving these problems. So here, I mentioned before this model, triple helix model of government, industry, university, technology, business, model innovation. Here, this model considers the three pillars of sustainable development in the context of a systems approach based on an input process output model. And this points out the economical, social, and environmental decisions and factors to be taken into account. So here, technology business model innovation are at the core of sustainable development. Using a system and process approach, a comprehensive general model has been developed based on understanding that the economy is a means ecosystems integrity is a condition, and the social dimension is the objective of sustainable development. So the complex sustainability equation is derived from a set of social, economic, environmental equations known as this triple integrated equation, corresponding to the three basic pillars of sustainable development. And this new strategic management framework of sustainable business development requires a holistic view of the business environment, taking into account social, economic, environmental considerations, as well as the more conventional concerns of customers, markets, and competition. So this new business perspective is brought about by changes to the traditional business for profit strategy, inclusion of social environmental principles and goals. Today, we talk about social entrepreneurship. We talk about inclusive entrepreneurship, circular economy, digital entrepreneurship, because the concept of the company's performance has radically changed. We don't talk about profit anymore. We talk about how the impact, how the actions of a company, how will not harm the environment, how the actions of a company are useful to society and humanity in general. There's a new term, sustainable entrepreneurship. And this new term is a term on the basis of an earlier concept of development of social enterprise entrepreneurship, emphasizing that entrepreneurship is based on innovation, creating new value for economic growth, and enabling the fulfillment of individual and social goals represented by a broad set of quality of life objectives. Social entrepreneurship means utilizing resources in a transactional way. Resources become tools and are used as much as possible for a specific purpose in both economic and social realms. Social entrepreneurship undertakes social activities for a profit, which is subsequently distributed in order to create social value. And the thinking of business models includes efforts to appraise the reach of the growth, social and environmental perspective. So models are at the goal of competitive performance. Models are undergoing radical change and have become the dynamic steam engine for sustainable development. Their mission being to create social value while simultaneously appreciating the environment as a condition and keeping the whole system running, vital and successful. The triple helix actors, government, industry, university, are clearly presented as key vectors of responsibility for innovating technology business model and for a sustainable development strategy. Technology and business innovation drive the economy towards achieving the sustainable development goals set. The technology we use in performing business operations impacts the environment, society, economy, consequently, technology, business, and the price are perpetrators of potential damage and cause unwanted effects of the economy. At the same time, these actors are key to finding solutions to set problems by developing sustainable technology for sustainable business. Here we have another model, society environment pool model. The positive circle chain model is presented here. The society environment link to social environmental objectives keeps affecting sustainable strategy, leading to business and technology innovation, which further impacts processes to create delivery value in the form of goods and services. Sustainable business development. Priority for sustainable business strategy means preserving the essential or critical natural capital, and sustainable development is achieved if actions of producers and consumers do not harm air, biodiversity, climate, soil, and water, and therefore maintain the Earth's ecosystem services. Virtuous cycle of sustainability is another model, a multi-level model providing a blueprint for the leaders of independent organizations who attempt to build the culture of sustainability. There's a reciprocal nature of sustainability with employee engagement, reinforcing the virtuous cycle. So, business innovation model. Concepts of technology innovation are closely linked. A business model is considered as a market device, an intermediary between different innovation actors, such as companies research institutions, actors who shape innovation networks. Business innovation model describes the principles according to which an organization creates, distributes, and captures value, and is a means by which a company strategy is established. So business models serve as mediating devices that allow creating value with new technologies and other kinds of innovation, respectively, to sustainable entrepreneurship. Business models also support the creation of ecological, social, and economic value. So there are models, business models for sustainability. These models try to open up new business opportunities for sustainable entrepreneurs. A business model for sustainability helps describing, analyzing, managing, communicating a company's sustainable value proposition, how it creates and delivers value, and how it captures economic value of generating natural, social, economic capital beyond its organizational boundaries. So, here a framework that takes technological characteristics as input, converts research through customers and markets into economic outputs. The business model is conceived as a focusing device that mediates between technology development and economic value creation. And mediating function refers to the creation of fit between strategy, organization, innovation, and a firm's business environment. The business model concept improves the alignment of strategy, business organization, and technology. What are now the difference between conventional entrepreneurs and sustainable entrepreneurs? First of all, conventional entrepreneurs have a narrow focus on creating customer value for the sake of making financial profits. So they want to align their business model in the first place with the interest of the customers, financial stakeholders. On the other hand, sustainable entrepreneurs try to solve ecological and social problems through their business activities and aim at value creation for various stakeholders. Sustainable entrepreneurs, however, usually face a lack of complementary assets of resources or competencies to align the business model with existing or new markets and develop a solid position towards competitors. And what are environmental contingencies? The ability of a new or modified business model to survive these evolutionary dynamics depends to a large extent on public policy support and the willingness of private investors to provide financial resources. Business models for sustainability framework put some emphasis on two environmental factors that are crucial to deal with the barriers faced by sustainable entrepreneurs and the synergistic relationship between a business model, investor perceptions of risk, and a political framework. So every business model depends on various stakeholders and their willingness to engage in mutual relationship with the firm as a precondition for business cases for sustainability. A framework that considers an initial non-exclusive list of stakeholders and relationships in sustainability innovation business are embedded within a wider socio-technical context and the mess of stakeholder relationships that supporting and limiting moderating effects. Nowadays, when we talk about sustainability, we talk about clean energy business models because all these experimentations with renewable energy financing experts revealed a brand bias where the employment of premium brand solar technologies was rated as the most important criteria, even more important than quantitative financial indicators. So clean energy business model provide better access to financial capital. Instead of striving for lower cost to be competitive, investing in premium brand technologies can pay off in terms of access to financial capital. And if a business case is based on such a branding strategy, private financing will strengthen appropriate financial models, value propositions, and marketing approaches, and therefore positively moderate the business model and business case relationship. This is another model, push-pull model. Because sustainable technology pushes sustainable business and sustainable business pulls sustainable technology innovation. This model unveils an essential relationship between technology and business leading to continuous innovation and effort to create sustainable business development strategy and find solutions in concrete real-life circumstances. So we talk about entrepreneurship, this creation of new ventures, about the process of individuals coming together with opportunities resulting in specific customers being provided with new goods and services. And what are the characteristics of analysis of an entrepreneur? Values, education, work experience, life experience, networking, and resource capital, know-how, facilities, equipment, and transport. Entry strategy means where nothing previously existed. Market entry strategy, market assessment, business case development, implementation, roadmap, and go live. So the new trends of entrepreneurship today, I said before, green entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, inclusive, circular, digital. And we can mention the case of some industries. So industries underwent a profound strategic orientation and redesigned its products. It was a carpet industry, not in the traditional linear make-use-based model, but in a sustainability-inspired circular strategy. So now takes back products at the end of their useful life, disassembles them, and remanufactures them as new carpets. This is a radical rethinking of the value of a product using ecosystem terms. These industries moved beyond marketing hype to a strategy that eliminated hazardous materials and recovered and reused carpet in a closed material cycle. So these industries had to differentiate itself and create new capabilities and even new markets. We have seen how industries can be innovative, these materials that use in its product need to be environmentally superior. Now we use the principles of chemistry in industry and entrepreneurship, how to prevent waste rather than treat it after it's formed, how to maximize the incorporation of all processed materials in the final product, how to use and generate substances of little or no toxicity, preserve efficacy of action while reducing toxicity, and design and product to innocuously degrade, not persist, and many other principles. Sustainable Technology Innovation 2022, we can mention Ramener is a design-led data science company that employs techniques to help solve complex business problems with compelling data stories using insights and low-code analytics performance. Fairphone introduced design for the new Fairphone 3 in 2020 to reduce its greenhouse gas emission. The proprietary design can extend phone's lifetime of an average of 3 years to about 5 years, which leads to a significant 30% reduction of greenhouse gas emissions per year of use across the entire life cycle of the phone. The company has also increased the number of fair materials integrated into the supply chain for the new phones. Sidewalk Labs is a startup that aims to transform urban spaces into sustainable and affordable communities, partnering with city organizations and corporations to create new models for city planning. These are sustainable technology ventures for 2022, and less work of creative minds, clever engineers, and dedicated restorators all pursue one goal: to free environment and pointless disposable waste. So both technology and business model innovation act as push or pull factors. Sustainable technology innovation are push-pull in search of sustainable business environment that can be reached through business model innovation, and sustainable business model creates the business environment for pulling or pushing sustainable technology innovation. What I'm trying to do, I'm working at the Greek Space Company. I'm also the founder of many STEM projects based on STEM development goals, teaching STEM here, vulnerable groups, refugees, hospital, and we found, as I said before, many humanitarian problems based on sustainable development goals with great success in Africa and Malawi and in Kenya and in Asia. The impact of these programs were huge because we managed to get sanitation filtering equipment for children who didn't have, who were thirsty and had to walk about 90 minutes to find clean water to drink. Other project which was implemented in India, and for this project we have received over 150 awards. By concluding, I want to say that complete effects of sustainable development can be achieved only by combining innovative efforts when trying to reach sustainable technology innovation and sustainable business model innovation in practice. So focus on rethinking new models of sustainable business and technology innovation addresses a theoretical framework that is of great significance to more widespread sustainable development business solution. Thank you very much for your attention. Of course, for any question, I'm here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your insight and great information regarding sustainable development innovation breakthroughs in technology as well as in businesses. You have enlightened various topics related to innovation, in which idea, concept, advanced. About what is innovation through how one can develop their sustainable business. Also, you have given some examples of sustainable businesses like Fairphone, Sidewalks Labs, also related to astronomy projects, which you have done in various countries. Thank you. So, one question from our student is that our students are from basic science. We have near about 18 departments. We have physics, astrophysics, chemistry, statistics, mathematics. We have electronic students. We also have computer science students, biotechnology, microbiology, and these all students are graduate students, and as pursuing their graduate degree, they are going for innovative ideas and wish to start their business and become entrepreneurs. So, what message you will give to the students which are participating in hackathons with their innovative ideas? How they can develop their innovative ideas into entrepreneur and then sustainable entrepreneur?
When you try to launch a new idea, have always in mind, first of all, it's what differentiates you from others, what differentiates this idea from others. It's what we call before entry strategy. Find something that does not exist anywhere. And what I said before about social entrepreneurship, find something that does not harm the environment and always be in line with social and economic goals and values and service to humanity. These two things in mind.
Yeah, yes. So students are going for local problems as well as some global problems. So basically they are focusing on some local problems which they are faced regularly. So we are in agricultural area, we have various problems in agricultural sectors. We have also students from food and biotechnology. So they try to give a solution to the farmers and producers so that they can solve their problems with innovative ideas. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. I. Is it audible, ma'am? They are audible? Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
First of all, yes, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to Dr. Rania ma'am for sharing her valuable experience and expertise in the field of innovation, invention and incubation, and guiding our participants regarding the sustainable development in businesses and entrepreneurship. So, thank you very much once again. Also, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to Honorable Principal of our Institute, Dr. B.T. Jadhav sir, for encouraging us to organize this kind of events for our students. Actually, Albert Einstein mentioned that this innovation will start through out of box thinking, and innovation will start through innovative mindsets. So first of all, as far as the students concerned, we need to develop our students for innovative thinking through some innovative projects and innovative ideas. So our institute has established different cells like invention cell, innovation cell, startup cell, patent cell, through which throughout the year we guide our students for their innovative ideas and development of that innovative ideas to innovative products, and ultimately which goes for patents and all other things. So I thanks once again coordinator of this particular event, Dr. S.K. Shinde sir, for organizing this fabulous event for our students and participants. So thank you very much. Declare. Good afternoon, ma'am. And good afternoon, one and all. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks of this hackathon inauguration function. Respected Dr. Rania ma'am, chief guest of this inauguration function, President Dr. B.T. Jadhav sir, Principal Yashwantrao Chavan Institute of Science, Satara, Honorable Vice Principal of this institute, Bhoite madam, Tourne sir, and Dr. J.J. Chavan sir, respected deans, research dean, Honorable Dr. Mujawar sir, and all present over online mode, all HODs, IIC members and faculty present here as well as online mode. Today we have inaugurated the second most awaited YCIS Hackathon-2022. For this function, Dr. Rania ma'am inaugurated with beautiful words. So on behalf of Institute, I would like to thank ma'am for your gracious presence for this inauguration, as well as your words to encourage our students as well as faculties for starting with innovation essentials, then phases in innovation, sustainable development, sustainable technology, and sustainable business development, various business models with case studies of different industries, etc. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your words. I'm also thankful. I'm also thankful to Honorable Principal Dr. B.T. Jadhav sir for his continuous encouragement. Thank you very much, sir. Then I'm also thankful to Honorable Mr. S.K. Shinde sir, who is coordinator of this hackathon. Then vice principals, Honorable Dr. Bhoite ma'am, Dr. Tourne sir, J.J. Chavan sir, Research Dean Dr. Mujawar sir for his words. And last but not least, I am also thankful to all faculty members and students for participating in this inauguration function. With this, I would like to declare that the inauguration is over, inauguration function is over, and we will
see the further the ideas from students for this hackathon. Thank you.
ठीक है मीटिंग एंड करा
Meeting is over. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and experiences, and I wish you all the best for the hackathon and for your future endeavors. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.